In this edition, the Mahoerangi Environmental Education Trust is an organisation that's been formed to explore ways to encourage people to live in a more environmentally friendly way. Recently, the Mahoerangi Trust announced that it's going ape, meaning all profits go to the environment. Last week I spoke to the Trust's instigators, Steve McClellan and Sabine Witter, to find out more. Tell us a wee bit of the history behind it. I understand you were cruising around the Marlborough Sounds on a yacht to start with.
Yeah, we were living aboard and basically looking to escaping the ways of our Western society. We had enough of the greed and the corruption and the selfishness, and wanted to go and learn more about some of the more basic societies that are out in the Pacific, and just look and learn. But in the process we ended up in the Marlborough Sounds and we fell in love with the place, and being a city boy, we started seeing something that was pretty damned awesome that we've got there, and started learning about our native environment, and yeah, fell in love with it.
The philosophy being behind the Trust, in a nutshell, how would you describe it?
Yeah, we're self-employed servants to nature and had to set up a trust to be able to fulfil that role. And yeah, and the more we worked on it and the more input from other people we had, and the songs they sang, all profits to the environment, popped up.
Right.
Yeah, and we thought, right, that's us.
And so that's where the ape comes in, all profits to the environment. That would appear from an outside point of view to many people to be a pretty ambitious kind of philosophy to hold on to. How do you do that?
Creating businesses that are environmentally friendly and sustainable, and yeah, rather than having a fat cat making all the profit at the top, Mother Nature makes all the profit. And yeah, it's just a very, very simple concept of it's a way to serve, and without having the rich gold-plated Rolls Royces or whatever. Yeah, the money goes back in instead.
Steve, you're out in Durville Island, and this comprises quite a considerable chunk of land, doesn't it? Tell us about that.
Mahoerangi is a very special place. It has regen and native bush. It's surrounded by the Docker Estate, Native Reserve, and it's a very sheltered bay. So being boat people, that's one of the aspects that we looked at, and we finally moved out there about 3 years ago after entering into the agreement to buy it over 12 years ago. And because of the work we were doing in the Nydia Bay area and Havelock, Lower Marlborough Sounds, came to an end. We moved out there and onto bare land, and we were now putting in the infrastructure required to create a bigger, brighter, broader spectrum example of all profits to the environment working. Now, because of our location and the type of environment we have around us, the eco-tourism industry suits all profits to the environment being applied in that area, which is transport and kayaking and bushwalking and accommodation and as in all business is strictly limited by the imagination to see opportunity and combine that with situation and circumstances and funding, of course, and make a profit and channel that profit back into the environment where it's created. At Mahoerangi, because of how the land is structured, we're able to now work towards creating examples of people living in harmony within the environment. So basically we have a wildlife sanctuary with people living in it. Right. So we have environmental covenants applied to the land, and we've had a lot of help there from very good people, very highly qualified people internationally in this realm. And we want to create following those covenants, environmental housing, waste systems, power generation, recycling, all the aspects of how you should live or could live within the environment, as one example of things we can show. We want to be able to create all profits to the environment in such a way that it can be seen at work. It can be touched, smelt, tasted. It can. It's not just blah blah blah.
Right. When you say all profits to the environment, being, this isn't just about putting food back into the soil, is it? From what I've read of the organisation, part of that is a component within that gives rise to education and also investment in people, doesn't it?
Mm.
So it's quite a broad sort of spectrum for the idea of all profits to the environment. Can you explain a wee bit more about that ethos?
Well, it's very much by the people for the people, what we're trying to do. It's it's a team effort by all. It's not to feed one person's ego. It's about crossing the finishing line together and uniting and growing strong together, and and being caretakers of this planet.
Right.
It's always the children's planet as far as we're concerned, and and we're just caretakers here, trying not to trash the classroom for the next lot. Creating learning places for navigators of future, meaning future generation, and that's sort of pretty much, as in a nutshell, it's pretty simple.